Alright, hello and welcome everyone. So, as promised, today is the Toroid farming video, and before we get into where and how to farm this, we're going to talk about the group you're going to want for the group comp. That being said, the first and most obvious choice is a Necros, or two. I would actually definitely suggest that you take two Necros, because you want as many Desecrates as possible to go through, because you're going to be killing a hell of a lot of enemies very, very quickly. So, for that, we have the pretty normal Desecrate build. I will say, if you are opting to take two DPS Warframes instead of one Protection Warframe, which we're going to talk about in a moment, I would say you could definitely switch this build from having maybe Cunning Drift to switching that to something like Adaptation, just to be a little bit tougher. But by and large, the main thing you want is as much range as you can reasonably fit, Despoil, and then Health Conversion to Vitality. Those are fairly obvious and belong on pretty much all Necros builds at this point. And your Strength and your Duration will not matter whatsoever for this. So yeah, Necros to pick up all the loots and make more loots. That's been his job for quite some time, and he will continue to be used for that. Moving on, we have the protection for the group. Blessed Trinity, shock and surprise, I know. If you want to be a bit lazier about your protection, you could also bring something like an Oberon, but Blessed Trinity is going to be best at the job overall, I'll say. Blessed Trinity is very simple and is not that crazy. This Blessed Trin build is also used for Eidolon running. That's why you see the Arcane Nullifiers installed on it. So you usually are not going to need Hunter Adrenaline, but it will keep you topped off on energy if you don't want to use your 2. So yeah, basically some variety of Blessed Trinity build. You're going to want a lot of duration, at least this much strength. Basically, you only actually need 150%, but whatever. And it's pretty much as simple as that. Just make sure you can spam your 4 and keep everybody protected. Also, worth noting on all of these builds, you're going to want Corrosive Projection, because armor is a real bitch. And then finally, for DPS purposes, we have Mesa. I know, I seem biased because Mesa is my favorite Warframe, but in the DPS role, she has a specific bonus, and that is that her 4 does not target the alert level sticks that guys will drop down. You want to be at maximum wanted level, essentially, at all times, and have as many of those sticks available in your area at once to maximize the amount of enemies that are going to be spawning in your area to kill, and then have Necros desecrate and get a whole hell of a lot of Toroids, or at least as many as you can. With that, there is the matter of the Regulator build. The Regulator build, for the purposes of this, if you have a full Corrosive Projection build, I would suggest like this, which is max Toxin, like just have pure Toxin to completely ignore the shields, and obviously you won't have to deal with the armor. This is going to chew through pretty much everything that exists in terms of the corpus at that point. You'll just ignore their shields and kill them outright. It's very, very good. You could also go with gas. You could go with viral heat. Like, you can do a lot of different stuff here, and it's going to be quite good for you. Don't worry too much about that, though. And then a thing you can add on to here to just compound Necros getting you more loot is to add on a Smita Kavat. Obviously, we have Fetch now, so we don't need to worry about not having Vacuum. So every once in a while, Charm will activate and might get you a few extra Toroids, and that's fine. In practice, I've only actually had this activate once in the couple of hours that we have farmed with it, but it could technically happen. Technically, I mean, I got like 4 extra Toroids in the time that it was active, so that was cool. But yeah, this is inconsistent, but maybe it will be more consistent for you if you are luckier than I am. And for the group comp, that's going to do it. So let's get down to Fortuna and talk about where you are going to be doing this farm. Alright, so here we are on the plains. There are 3 main areas where you are going to be doing this farm. The one that I would suggest most highly is the Enrichment Labs, as it's just a great area, and it starts at the lowest levels. You don't really have to worry about enemies dishing out too much damage too fast, especially if you are new to this. And then we have the Spaceport and the Temple of Profit. So, The nice thing about these is that the Temple of Profit, the Enrichment Labs, and the Spaceport all drop different toroids, which I will list on screen now, and if you're hunting for a specific one, you can go there and murder enemies to your heart's content. The only difference between these locations is that in the Spaceport, you're going to want to go inside of it to farm, and on the Temple of Profit, you are going to want to go inside of it to farm, though I will warn you, the inside of the Temple of Profit is not exactly a clean place to farm. You just don't want to have to deal with any orbs or the exploiter orb that's outside and all that bullshit. But at the Enrichment Labs, I find it is best to farm outside, actually, because the orbs, the medium-sized orbs, that is, will not show up to hassle you, and you can get kind of the maximum amount of, like, area where you can see all the enemies spawn and murder everyone, and that's definitely my preferred place right now to farm them. So, let's head over there and talk about exactly how to get this thing started. And it's rather simple. You kind of just start fucking Corpus up, have them drop their sticks, and then more Corpus show up for you to kill. It's a pretty easy to follow plan. Like, show up, and then whenever you show up, don't turn on your 2 yet. Let enemies, like, basically know you're here. Kill the robotic enemies because they cannot drop sticks to call more enemies. And that guy dropped a stick, so that's fantastic. So we've got 1 stick rolling that's going to be like increasing the alert level and calling in enemies like this, and that's pretty much getting started. From this point onward, it's like Necros will desecrate the bodies, your 4 will not target the sticks, so you're going to have reinforcements for as many sticks as you can get piled up. Don't destroy them. And you just murder to your heart's content until you get as many toroids as you need or enemy levels get too high for you to handle. It really could not possibly be any simpler than that, and that's kind of what's up. You're gonna get about like 25 to 40 toroids here per hour, and I know that's not amazing, but I'll tell you what it is a lot better than the solo method of farming toroids, which we're going to be going over now. Solo farming toroids is absolutely terrible, but we are going to go over it anyway for those masochists that would like to participate in the madness. So, you've made it this far into the video and you've decided that you hate yourself. Well, welcome to the solo farming guide for toroids. This is cave diving with Mesa. This is absolutely soul-crushing and not worth doing, but it is the solo way to farm these things. Loot detector, thieves wit, otherwise a pretty normal Mesa build, where you've got, of course, maglev and streamline form and all that such for going quickly. Take that. Also take a Smedikavat, because good God, you're really going to have to be lucky for this method to work, and you might as well pile luck on top of that. And let's begin talking about the route. The route, no matter what we do, it's not going to be great. Only some caves in Orb Valis are going to be able to spawn toroids for you, and there's only one realistic route to run. Not that it's amazing. So, on the map, what we're going to run is these 3 caves here, and then we're going to get these 3 caves here, and then this one, and then head back. That is pretty much the fastest route. Not that it is particularly quick or very fruitful, but even if you were to go to every single one of the caves that can possibly have toroids on this map, you would be lucky to come away with 1. I personally did about a half an hour of this farm and came away from it with 3 toroids. And let me tell you, it was an absolutely dreadful experience that I would not wish upon my worst enemy. We're going to get a lot of nodules on this run. But yeah, it's not great. It's about the least rewarding thing that I would think that you can do in this entire game. Hey, look, more noodles. Also, to get through this electricity, you do this. And there we go. So if there are any toroids in here, we're going to be able to get them. Oh, good. More noodles. Amazing. All right, heading out of here. Let's move on to the next cave, which is right here. But yeah, this is the route right here. I'll be not like there's a couple tricks to get to all the spots in the caves that can potentially have the stuff, but like the stuff that these caves are going to have are nodules. So if you need nodules, then you're gonna be pretty good on noodles if you're gonna run this route. It's gonna be absolutely no problem to get you some noodles, but your sanity is gonna, you know, you're gonna take a couple of hits here and there. So yeah, basically, I mean, I'm showing this run because hey, some people got a solo, and I respect that. But God, I hope you're luckier than I am, because if you're not. Ooh, if you're not, that's gonna be a real bad time for you. So yeah, come in here, nothing up top. See if there's anything down low. Probably not. And are we not even gonna get noodles down here? Not even noodles in this area. Wow, super lucky today, guys. All right, nothing in that cave. And then we're gonna head down here. Also, this is with a max speed Itzel, by the way. Cool. I went a little fast. Probably nothing up here, but I gotta double check. Okay. Yep, nothing. All right. I'm gonna get anything. We're probably just so we're all aware. I'm almost certainly coming away from this run with 0 Toroids, because you can do a number of these runs. Like, they're not, like, super fast, but they're also not super slow. But, yeah. I mean, if you're getting Toroid, if you're trying to get Toroids, they're super slow. Don't get me wrong there. Head in here. This area looks promising. Is not. I can promise you that. Like, it's huge, right? You'd be like, oh, this is going to be a Toroid paradise. Absolutely not. Under no circumstances will this be a Toroid paradise. Hey, more noodles. But yeah. I mean, like, there's not much more to say, really. Like, this is the route. Welcome to hell. Like, please enjoy your stay. Over here. Yeah, if you have to do solo farming for these things, I don't envy you. I really don't. Like, I'd like to be optimistic and be like, oh, you'll get a bunch of Toroids doing this. But, unlike Wisps, that is simply not the case. Like, Wisp farming on Cetus, like, I know how soul-crushing that is, but at least you're getting them, right? Like, on Cetus, it's like this one extremely repetitive route that you've got to do over and over and over. But at least you're going to get the Wisps. Like, there's like a pretty alright turnout, like, per run. It's like at least 2 usually for Wisps. But here, oh, there's no hope. There's just really just about none. I will say this cave is pretty cool. You're usually not going to get anything, but you hit this button right here. There we go. And then this this drains this here, so you can go down in. And then once we're down here, we can get some noodles. Absolutely fantastic. Super good use of time. All right, and that's the route. As anticipated, we got 0 Toroids. Incredible. Let's head back to Fortuna and be very happy with our time well spent. But yeah, I cannot possibly advise anyone to do this farm. But if you would like to inflict pain on yourself, it's there. It's there for you, solo player. If you want just absolute time-wasting pain, if you'd like existential dread over your time spent on this after you come away with it an hour later with a single Toroid, absolutely be my guest. But for me personally, outside of this video, I will never spend another 6 minutes doing that again for as long as I live, hopefully. So yeah, that is the Toroid farming video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, even given my absolute hatred of the solo farming method. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Later, everyone.